The battle for 4001 has been won, but the war is not over, obviously. The shorts have not covered. If they would have, we would see reflections on this, and everybody would be talking about it, obviously. We should also be seeing the price absolutely skyrocketing. So we're still in a prime position, waiting for this squeeze to take place, waiting for these regulations to go through, waiting for the margin calls to actually happen. And we're going to share with you guys today just some of the latest information that happened with AMC. And if you guys are new to the channel, first off, let me just clarify to everybody here once again, I'm not a financial advisor. Everything I'm sharing is my own opinion. It's my own research, and I encourage you guys, as always, to do your own research. And if you're new, feel free to subscribe. I would love for you guys to be a part of this community. I'm a big supporter of AMC, the movement. I also talk about cryptocurrency on this channel, but I do daily videos on AMC, and I've been taking the weekends off, but who knows if something crazy happens. And yeah, feel free to hit like. It helps us out with the YouTube search algorithm. Let's go ahead and talk about what happened today. So we got AMC, excuse me. AMC closed out the day on the green, which is great. A lot of people were suspecting that because of an article that came out about trades and the fact that he had previously been pretty proactive in doing these options contracts, that maybe that was a baited situation to try and get people to go do some option contracts. And as we've been seeing, if you do short-term option contracts, you pay a premium. And guess what? If it falls out of the money, then your premium money, that's going over to the market makers. And for those of you guys that are also not aware, the sentiment in the community is that the number one big enemy, the number one public enemy of what's going on specifically like with AMC or GameStop is the market makers. I know a lot of focus has been on the hedge funds before, but most of the attention should be on the market makers, because the market makers are the ones that have the ability and the access to essentially play with the price movement itself. And if there are synthetic shares, if there are naked shorts, all that kind of stuff really falls online with what access and tools that the market makers have. So anyways, looking at AMC, the battle above 4001 was important, because if we drop below that, then there's even more of these option contracts that would have closed out of the money. Even more money would have gone to the market makers. And guess what? They would have had that money to be able to play with to do more silly tactics. So good news is that we closed out on the green above that. Bad news is, well, there's really not that much bad news. We actually got the RSI starting to climb up a bit here. We're looking at this on the daily. It's at 55, so it's starting to look kind of towards the overbought territory. But keep in mind, this is the RSI, the Relative Strength Index. This is a metric that is only measuring up to a certain extended period and point of time, and that consistently moves as the price continues to move as well. So with where we're at right now, let's just go ahead and zoom out a little bit. Look at how low the volume was through all of this time period. So for the RSI to have any kind of a volume increase is going to dramatically change its position on there. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. We're still within this lower quadrant section of the Fibonacci sequence itself. It's a quadrant. It's not 4. There's more than that. The section, whatever you want to call it. I don't think you can call it a quadrant if there's more than 4, right? Anyways, so just kind of looking at where we're at right now. In the aftermarket, we're up $40.95. Going into the weekend, everyone's wondering what's going to be happening going into the beginning of next week, especially in the middle of next week, because when we hit September 1st, some of these new regulations, the DTCC, the NSCC, this kind of stuff, it's all starting to come to fruition. And a lot of people have been waiting in anticipation, and rightly so, to see if this will actually have some effect. Will this will this have some margin calls that will pull through, and we might see a gamma squeeze with the options contracts? Will we see a traditional squeeze? Is this the final moment that we've been waiting for? We'll have to wait and see on it. If it doesn't happen, have they covered yet? No? Well, guess what? We're still in play. It just takes more time. And you go look over here on the Stonko tracker. The thing is, the dark pool suggested here for yesterday, actually, sorry, 2 days ago, I just noticed it's on the 25th, 64.9%, continuously running itself up higher. And according to other reports, like for example from AMC to Moon, they said 70% of AMC is being traded through the dark pool today. This must end, which is absolutely crazy. In addition to that, I got something in my throat. In addition to that, we got Andrew Heisinger, I think is how you say his name. He said that only 35.69% of AMC volume has executed on exchange So that 70% the other individual said, this person is reporting 64.31%. Absolutely crazy. And some other things to keep in mind too, let's go ahead and hop on back here for just a second, is the available shares to borrow has gone up. So it's saying that there's 1.1 million available shares to borrow, and it's 3.4 million ETF shares available to borrow. Very interesting things with that. The fee percentage has dramatically dropped, which is also very interesting because it was recently, it just increased a ton. It went up to 5.6%, and we were seeing right around 1 or 1.1%. I think it was 1.1%, but now it's down to 0.9%. Very interesting. It raises a lot of questions as we go into next week. I'm wondering what's going to really play out with that. And just finalizing up here, a couple final points. Position on the dark pool, negative 15.5 million shares. That's negative $495 million. And looking at this metric right here, as you guys can see with where we are currently at, it's starting to shift across that level of resistance, essentially. We can call that right here. We use technical analysis terms. And that's an establishment that's suggesting pretty darn heavily, as noted over here from Edward, that we are coming to the end of the full bearish dark pool graph on AMC. The dark pools will have to start buying blocks, and it will push AMC into a massive bullish trend. This is what we've been waiting for AMC to the moon. So I'm really curious. What do you guys think about this? The fact that it's starting to make that shift over, if you look at the historical time periods with this, it seems to match up pretty well right here. So that's going in there. That's February 25th. And then what we're seeing also take place right here, right now. So it fits in pretty darn well with everything that's going on, and I think that this actually has some justification to it. And you guys can also see here the price versus the short volume. And yeah, so I mean, I just think it's absolutely awesome that we were able to pull off, with everything that's going on, it was able to pull off being above $40.01, closing out at $40.76. So it's really cool. Yeah, I'm excited. Let's see what happens next week. Let us know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments down below. And if you want to get some free cryptocurrency or free stocks, I do have referral links. It's free money, guys. Feel free to use them if you want. And also, if you're new, don't forget to hit subscribe. Hit the thumbs up like button, and feel free to share the video. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next episode.